Good evening, everybody. It's Matt from Chartedlife365.com. I want to take a couple of moments first of all, say thank you for taking the time to click on this link, check out the page, and to see what we have to say and share. So today, I attended the Out of the Darkness walk, and I got to tell you, folks, what an amazing event. This was an event where there's thousands of people, at least appear to be thousands of people that were there showing support for folks that are survivors of suicide directly, or showing support for folks that have struggled with depression and contemplated suicide. Like I said, seemed to be thousands of people there. It was held right up in Virginia Beach. I'm going to provide a link in the bottom of the description for you to take a look at. Check out their page. Awesome outreach for the community. So I was going to go last year, 2015. I was going to check it out, but something had happened in my personal life that had prevented me from doing that, or I wasn't ready to do it, I should say. And that something is, I had lost my daughter. I lost my beautiful, precious 15-year-old daughter to suicide. And she struggled with a vast majority of the same things that many other people have struggled with, those people that have gone that route, that have done that. I can't explain it. It's just, it's devastating. It really is. It's devastating. That had taken place in May of 2015. Shortly afterwards, a good friend of mine had let me know that there's the Out of the Darkness walk, but I wasn't ready to do it because there was so much stuff going on. Our family was turned upside down because of what our daughter did. And I told God, I said, God, you know what? If you want me to do this, if you want me to do it, you open the door and opportunity, which He did, and I'll share that here in a minute. Well, my daughter's passing, folks, was not the first person in my family to take their life. It's been something that has been a real struggle. My dad, when I was a little boy, 6 years old, ended his life. I walked in the room shortly after he did it. I remember it. I remember like it was yesterday. And in 1984, I lost my daddy. I lost my father. And I grew up without my dad, and I ended up going into my profession, which has served me well. And while I was overseas doing my job, I get a message saying that my little brother had died. And he had died from an overdose, come to find out. And that was gut-wrenching. So that's two people I've lost. So my father and then my little brother. So just, that was hard. It really was that difficult. And I struggled with anger for a long time, and I struggled with the whole why God question. A few months after my little brother had passed, I got another phone call from a family member that told me that my good uncle, a close uncle of mine, one of my close uncles, got me into baseball cards when I was a kid. Just awesome guy, funniest person you ever meet. He had died. He had taken his life. And that was just, it was on the heels of losing my little brother just a few months prior. So, the wound from my little brother's passing was raw. And then I'm dealing with I get a message from my uncle, one of my good uncles, one of my favorite uncles is gone now. And this is devastating. A few years after that, I then moved from one geographical location to another geographical location, and I get my job takes me to another place, and while I'm there doing my job, I get a phone call saying that a little cousin of mine had taken her life, and I got the phone call from her brother, who I'm very, very close to, and he told me, hey, that his sister had taken her life, and that was just so I had to go home with that and fly back to the U.S., back to the mainland U.S., and I had to go to be there to support my family. So that's my dad, my brother, and uncle, and my cousins. That's 4 people. Then in 2012, I was away on travel for my job, far away, and I got an email early one morning saying that you got to come home. Your uncle, who is my dad's older brother, another uncle I was very close to. Matter of fact, he took me under his wing closely after my little brother had passed back in 2004. And now here I'm getting a phone call saying that he is gone because he ended his life. These are the exact words. Your uncle, I won't say his name, but ended his life. So I had to go home with that, a fly. Wow, I don't know how much, it seemed like forever. I had to fly multiple stops traveling from one geographic location to another. Got back stateside, and then I drove from one part of the East Coast up north, where I'm originally from, and then to support my family again, and then put another relative in a graveyard where there's literally headstone after headstone that has my last name on it. A dad, cousin, grandfather, uncle, brother. So then, and then this past May, my little girl, after struggling with just a litany of issues, struggling a war going on in her mind, she took her life. I found it, and I'll tell you, devastating. Absolutely, just it's something you don't want to see. But let me tell you something. So I go to so with all that said, I attended the walk today, and the way that transpired was I'm going to church, and I'll put a link for the church as well at the bottom of the description here on the video. And I'm at church. Pastor comes up, says, "Hey man, I'd like you to talk to somebody." I said, "Sure." So I talked with one of the gals at church, and I thought she was approaching me to talk about one thing, a technical thing when it comes to their media setup. And I thought, oh, okay, I know a little bit about that, sure. So, and she didn't want to talk about that. It was something completely different. She wanted to talk about the walk, the Out of the Darkness walk. She asked me, said, "Hey, have you heard of it, the Out of the Darkness walk, Matt?" I said, "Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah." She goes, "Okay, well, there's going to be a walk on Saturday, September 10th. I'd like you to come out and support, because there's something going on that she has an experience with." So I said, "Okay, I'll go." I didn't really think about it until driving home. Then I thought to myself, "Hey, that's that walk from last year. That's right. I remember that. I had this meant, and I said, okay, I remember this." And I remember I recalled a conversation I had with God last year. And I said, "God, I'm not ready to do this walk, this Out of the Darkness walk. But if you want me to do it, open up an opportunity. So eventually I will." And here we are, over a year later. Now, there it is. So I stepped into it. I stepped into it and did it. I'm going to tell you, folks, what touching, absolutely amazing. You had a military color guard there. Great to see those guys and gals. You had some folks there that shared. You shared some real touching personal stories, and it's just absolutely, it just really just reached, touched you. There were a lot of tears going, and a couple of local news personalities were there sharing. So one of the things that was unique about that experience that really sticks out in my mind, and I'm going to show you something, is I'm walking through the event. It's and if anybody's been to Mount Trashmore, if you're familiar with the area, you go through you walk around, and you go to kind of I don't want to say a main gate, but an entrance area, and they have the banners set up, and you'll see the pictures if you follow my Twitter. You see some of the pictures of the banner, the front entrance, the main entrance to the event. So I'm walking through the main entrance, and I see a couple of gals approach me, and a couple of nice ladies approach. Say, "Hey, sir, welcome to the event. Do you have a ribbon?" And I'm thinking, a ribbon? So I said, "I don't have a ribbon. It's for my first time here." "What's a ribbon for?" And I thought it was like an entrance band or something I needed to get into the event. And they said, "No, a ribbon symbolizing that you've either lost somebody or you struggle with it yourself." And they had these little badge right here, kind of color coded, like, you know, blue is this, red is this, yellow, green, purple. And I said, oh, I get it. Well, yeah, I'll need a few ribbons. And I don't think they knew what I meant at first. And I told them, well, I lost my dad, I lost a brother, which I didn't mention my brother because it wasn't a suicide per se, but I lost a dad. I lost the folks I just told you about. So they're like giving me one. Each color represents a person that I've lost. Another yellow one, a green one, and then a purple one. That's a lot. I looked around, folks. I looked around, and I didn't see anybody else with this many ribbons. That's a lot of people that I've lost. And like I said, I didn't put one for my brother. I you know, his passing was tragic, and it broke my heart. It was from different causes. So that's 5 ribbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purple one, if I remember correctly, is for anybody that's lost a son or a daughter. You got ribbons with anybody lost somebody. So the 2 yellow ones are a son or a daughter, or a relative, or a parent. And so this just, you know, that's a lot. So anyway, I've said all that. Profound. I highly encourage you to check it out. Go to, like I said, go to the link, and put it in the description below, and you'll get the chance to see it. But I want to move to something a little more uplifting. I want to go ahead and just put a shout out to the Chartedlife365.com. Folks, this is a website I've just started out. It's a blog. I share a lot of personal just insights the Lord's spoken into my heart. I share the hope of the promise of salvation through Jesus Christ, who is, I tell you what, I couldn't do this thing called life without him. I guarantee you, after sharing my story with you, and there's a lot more as you get to know me, and we continue to fellowship online via the YouTube and the blog and the Twitter and all the social media. You get to hear my story, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Throughout all that story, I'm telling you, my personal story, Matt's journey, I know for a fact there's a Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that loves us, and He has a laser beam focused passion for you, people. I'm telling you right now, I've seen it firsthand. So Chartedlife365.com is the blog. I also got a Twitter at Chartedlife365. You can also go on the YouTube, Chartedlife365. I got the Instagram. All those links will be available for you to check out. I highly encourage you to look at it and give some input, give some feedback. I try to keep the blog active and go on there, you know, at least 2-3 times a week. I like to keep it simple. Some of the stuff's a little bit more meat and potato stuff. Some of it's just a real good, off the top, quick read just to get your day going good. So just check it out, folks. It's you know, I'm not a professional author, but I'm sharing my thoughts, and I just want to share life and my feelings that and what I know to be true, my journey with the Lord. That life is charted, it's on purpose, and it's by design. This is not by accident. You're going to look in the rearview mirror in life. If you lean in faith and you press into God, you're going to look in your rearview mirror and say, wow, God, I can see how you worked all that out. So press in, stay focused, don't give up, okay? God's going to take care of you. You just lean on His Son, Jesus Christ, press in faith. God's going to take care of you. You trust your Father. Just look at your dad. Don't look at what's going on around you. Look at him. Your life is charted on purpose, by design. You got a destiny to fulfill, folks. Every single one of you out there got a destiny. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Reach out. Let's talk. And that's it. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Have a good evening.